What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Love After Lockup Season 4, Episode 39, Drunken Love. Let's get into it. We start off with Michael and Justine. So they're in the kitchen. It seems like Michael is getting ready to head out. Justine's doing some morning cleanup around the kitchen. The kids are in the living room playing, and Justine tells Michael that her mom is going to be coming over for dinner because she plans on telling her mother that she's pregnant and that she also quit her job. And Michael did not like that. He was not on board with that. He doesn't want anybody to know that Justine's pregnant right now. And I'm thinking the reason why, because at first I was like, what difference does it make if she tells her mom now, tells her mom 6 months from now, tells her mom when the baby pops out? Eventually she's going to know that they're having a baby. So what difference does it make when she tells her mom? Then I realized that maybe he wants to buy more time so that he can make a better impression on Justine's mom, so that when they do drop the bomb on her that she's pregnant, at least he'll have money coming in. He'll have something to show his mother-in-law that he is, good at taking care of Justine and the family. And right now to him just really wasn't the right time, because I don't think the income is really flowing in the way that they would want to. They probably are making enough. There's enough money coming in from whatever side hustles he's doing and side businesses that he's doing to sustain their, to make ends meet, but maybe it's not quite enough for them to do the things that they really need to do. So he wants her to wait, and she tells him, no, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to tell my mom. So in that sense, Justine's a lot like me, because when I have something to tell, if I have something bad news to give to someone, especially like about myself, not to say that being pregnant is a bad thing, but she knows how her mom's going to take it. But if I have something to tell someone and it's not going to make me look good, it's like I have to confess to something or admit to something or reveal something about myself. I want to get it out of the way. I don't want to wait. I want to hurry up, let the cat out of the damn bag. Let's deal with it. Let's talk about it. Let's go get over the hump, and then we can move on with our lives. I don't want to hold in bad news, especially if it's about myself. I don't want to hold that in. So her mother, and then she stresses to Mike before he leaves. She stresses to him, I need you to be on time when we meet my mother, because, right now you're like on her poopy list, and I want you to make a better impression of yourself to her. So please do not be late. And because we're listening to this conversation, we know what's going to happen later. So the mother arrives and Mike's not there. So I think they kind of wait around for him a little bit. He still doesn't show up. So then they decide to walk to the restaurant in the rain at night. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so obviously they only have one car, and I guess he needed the car to do errands or whatever. I didn't understand why they didn't just wait for him to come home, because the restaurant that they went to, it didn't seem like it was a restaurant that you needed reservations. It looked like a pizza and wing kind of place. So why didn't they just wait for him to come home? Because eventually I didn't understand that, why they felt the need to walk in the rain to the restaurant. But anyway, so that's where we're at. They couldn't wait for him anymore. They start walking to the restaurant and they're having a conversation. And I think they're having a conversation about children. And I think Justine tells her mom that she eventually does want to have more children. And this is how she tries to break the ice. And the mom says, well, you need to wait until the time is right. And then Justine says, well, Mom, the time is kind of right now. And so at first the mom didn't get it. So she continues to babble on. And then she stops and she looks at Justine and she goes, are you pregnant? Yes, Justine's definitely pregnant. So they get to the restaurant to finish up the conversation, and she tells her mom, yes, I'm pregnant. And the mom is like, Mike hasn't even been home a month and you're already pregnant. Why didn't you wait? And, Justine, she's stubborn. She's going to do what she wants to do. And then she drops the second bomb on her mom and says that she quit her job. That right there devastated the mother a whole lot more than Justine being pregnant, because the mom is helping and has been helping Justine out financially. We find out later that the mom has been helping Justine financially. And here she is in a relationship that really is a brand new relationship, even though they've been talking for a year or however long while he's been incarcerated. Honey, the relationship doesn't really start until both of y'all can be together, until the one that's incarcerated is free, and y'all have to deal with of day-to-day life. That's when the relationship really starts. When he's in prison and you're out here, y'all are just, it's just a lot of nonsense, a lot of surface level nonsense, because y'all are not dealing with real life. Now that he's home and he's got these kids to feed and these kids to take care of and bills to be paid, this is when the real relationship begins. And so the mom is like, why couldn't you just wait? So the mother asks her, why in the hell would you quit your job, especially when you're pregnant? And Justine says, well, he doesn't want me to have to work. And I don't want to have to work. And, he wants me to be home more with the children. When she was saying this, I've never seen Justine as, a simple-minded type of woman. I thought she was, kind of quick in the mind, but when she said that, she just sounded dumb. She sounded really dumb. She sounded like some woman who, is allowing this man to take control of her life and, tell her what to do. She's like, yeah, he just wants me. He doesn't want me to have to work. Who gives a damn what he wants? Girl, you have to work. And like I said, whatever businesses he's got going on, maybe there's income coming in, but who's ever going to say, honey, we're making too much money. Slow down. There's too much money coming into the household. Our bank accounts are just so full of money. We need to just, step back a bit. No one thinks that way. So if he has a little side hustle going on, or the sneaker business or whatever's going on, if that's bringing in money, great. Justine, keep on working, bring in more money, and plus you're going to have your health insurance. So Mike saunters in 30 minutes late. And the mom gave him an earful. The mom told him, she let him know right away that she knew that Justine was pregnant. And so Mike he had to be put on the defense, right? He couldn't ease into it because the mother already knew. Justine already told her mom. So Mike is now on the defense. And so, the mother asked Mike, why would you want Justine to quit her job? And Mike said that, I want her to be home more, because she's a mom. And the mom says, Justine has always been a mom. She's got a damn 15, 16-year-old kid. She goes, Justine has always been a mom, and she's always kept a job. So why in the world would you not want her to work? So then she asks, so Mike, what is your plan? You're going to have a baby. Y'all are going to have 8 kids between the two of you. What is your plan? And then Mike, I guess he was just trying to be like a smart ass. He says, the plan is to leave it in God's hands. I guess he was being real, snarky with it. I don't know. Cause he was like kind of defensive. And so the mom was like, okay, if that's y'all's plan is to leave it in God's hands, I'm out of here. The mom gets up, grabs her jacket. She's out of there. She left her delicious, what was it? A crab, whatever, a crab, what was it? A crab sandwich. And so then, Mike gets up and he follows the mom outside. And so he leaves his delicious plate of wings. So he's following the mom outside to go talk to her. And Justine takes a plate of wings and she starts eating it. So they're outside in the parking lot. And the mom is expressing all of her concerns about this. Like, this is just, y'all are just moving way too fast. You just came out of prison. This is just ridiculous what y'all are doing right now. And so Mike is trying to convince the mother, I got this under control. Don't worry. We got this. So on and so forth. I don't know how. I mean, he didn't say anything really concrete. He didn't say, well, this is what I'm doing. This is what we're doing. Nothing like that. It's just have faith. I got it. Don't worry. I got it all under control. Have faith. So then he's mad at Justine. And I was like, why is he mad at Justine? He's really upset with Justine. So then he goes back into the restaurant and he tells her, come on, we got to go. And I'm like, but what about those wings? What about the wings? So they get in the car. Everyone's in the car. They're riding home. They drop off the mom. And on their way to their house, Justine's in a really foul mood because she's still upset about him being late. And so Justine and Mike, they start arguing about him not having her back. She says, you don't have my back. You weren't there for me. You were late, so on and so forth. And Justine said that she didn't, then she tried to say that she didn't tell her mom. Her mom somehow pulled it out of her. Like she just didn't volunteer the information without him being there, because Mike was upset that, he was saying something to her like, you told her that you were pregnant. and it should have been us telling her that we were pregnant. And Justine was like, okay, but you were late. And I didn't just tell her, she pulled it out of me. Like her mom was doing some Jedi mind trick to get this information from her. When no, Justine voluntarily gave up the information because the mom said, if you're talking about kids, you need to wait until the time is right. And that's all she said. And then Justine said, well, the time is right now. So she basically told her mom that she was pregnant at that moment. So it didn't take any kind of manipulation to get the information out of her. She just basically just spilled the beans. So Mike's upset that they couldn't tell her together. And, Justine's like, okay, you were late. And then as they're arguing, because he says he doesn't want to hear her talk about how he doesn't have her back because she kept on talking about how she held him down while he was away, so on and so forth. And so he gets so upset that he shoves his middle finger in her face. While they're still in the car and he's driving, he shoves his middle finger in her face. And he goes, do you see that? Do you see that? And then she's like, yeah, I see that and then she says something really crass and very disrespectful. And they're going back and forth. And they fight nasty. These two people, and you can just tell people like this fight nasty because they love each other hard. They look really good together, but that they fight really nasty, and they do. It's the kind of fight where they're constantly hitting each other below the belt. So they get to the house, but he doesn't park the car. He leaves the car on I don't know if it was an alleyway or a side street or something. I couldn't tell because there's a stop sign, but the car is in between two houses or something. And so he gets out of the car and he says, you know what, you can park your own car. And he leaves her out there. They fight really nasty. And the way that they were fighting, it kind of let me know that they fight like this, that they've been fighting like this a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on that we're not seeing on camera because it just kind of fell into that nastiness a little bit too easily. And it was bad. I thought it was really bad, especially when he put his middle finger up in her face. I mean, this is your wife. I don't like it when couples get nasty and start calling each other names. Now, I've heard people say things like, well, that's how me and my husband get down. We call each other bitches and hoes and MFers, and that's how we get down, but we love each other. That's just how it is. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't think that husbands and wives should call each other, horrible names like that. I don't think you should be hitting below the belt with your partner. I don't think you should be calling children and parents should not be calling each other names like H's and B's and MFers and, you stupid this and you dumb that. There's a way you can fight and still keep it respectful and you can still communicate exactly what you want to communicate to the other person. When it comes down to the nasty name calling and flicking each other off and oh my God. Y'all probably think I'm some type of a prude. I just don't like it. It makes me very, very uncomfortable to see that between a husband and wife because, y'all are supposed to love and cherish each other. This woman is carrying your baby. He's supposed to be a protector, a provider. She's supposed to be nurturing and caring. And, it was bad. And that just lets me know that these people, there's just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how strong their relationship is. I don't think they're going to break up. I don't think they're going to get a divorce. I don't think they're going to leave each other. But I don't know if their bond is as strong as I thought that it was. Let's move on to Derek and Monique. So they're both on their way to go see his great grandmother, who he calls his big mom. She's 95 years old, right? And he hasn't seen her in 6 years. So in the car on their way to Big Mom's house, Derek says, everyone's going to find out today. And so Monique says, find out what? And he says, how long have you been talking? And then Monique says, talking or together? She didn't like it when he said how long we've been talking. How long we've been talking or how long we've been together? She was really mad. So he was like, okay, how long we've been together? So they arrive at Big Mom's house and he introduces Monique to to his great grandmother and his father. So we also meet his father, Derek Sr. And Big Mom is a little tiny woman who doesn't look anywhere near 95 years old. Big Mom looks like she's about 59 or younger. I swear to God. Big Mom looks a good 50, 55 years younger than her actual age. And not only does she look a whole lot younger, and she looked good, and she looked like she was in great health, she was with it. She did not have a 95-year-old mind. It was just amazing. It was amazing to see. So Derek tells Monique that, his father's side, I think they were talking at the table or something, and he turns over to Monique, and because, they showed her a lot of love. The great grandmother, the father showed Monique a lot of love. They gave her a hug. They were very welcoming towards her, very warm towards her. They looked like they were really happy to see her, really happy to meet her finally. And so then Derek turns to Monique and says, I told you that my father's side of the family is like a breath of fresh air compared to my mother's side, referring to his siblings. So Monique tells them how grateful she is to meet them, so on and so forth. And then she tells them that how different it was with his siblings. They were not as welcoming or as caring as they are. And the dad tells him that, don't entertain that. Don't entertain that. Don't worry about that. He tells his son, all that negativity that your brothers and sisters want to bring, just try to stay away from all that. So when she gets a chance, she tells him that she has to go to the bathroom. And she doesn't go to the bathroom. Monique goes into Derek's bedroom, and she's snooping around, and she's trying to figure out where she can place this hidden camera that she wants to put in his room so that she can keep her eye on him while she's in Chicago, because she's going to be going back to Chicago pretty soon. So she's looking around, snooping around, and she finds like a little telephone book where he kept numbers, I guess, of all these girls that he was communicating with in prison. That really didn't faze her too much. Well, then Derek catches her in his bedroom, and he's like, what the hell are you doing in here? And nothing. And so he's like, what do you have in your hand? And so he finally gets a little telephone book out of her hand, and he tells her, I don't want you snooping around in my room. You lied to me, so you're going to the bathroom, but you really came in here to snoop around. So they get back to Big Mom and Daddy, and they talk about how much they accept her. They're like, hey, if Derek is, down with you, we're down with you. Derek loves you, we love you. Point blank, period. We don't ask no questions, nothing. And Derek says that he has never brought home a girl to his Big Mom's house. So I guess this is supposed to show the world that he is very serious about Monique, to bring her to come meet his Big Mom and his dad. So on the way back to the hotel, Derek says that his brothers want to hang out with him. He's like, yeah, my brothers, they've been hitting me up, and I think they want to do something later. And Monique was like, nope, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're going home, we're eating, and then we're going night. So they get to the hotel. Monique is fixing dinner, a healthy dinner at that. She's fixing some salmon, a salad, puts all the right seasonings on it. It looked really good. And so she's fixing dinner, and he has a bottle of champagne. And this idiot points the bottle of champagne directly at her when he pops the top off, and the damn thing nearly took her eye out because it hit her. It hit her. And I was like, how, Derek, come on. You don't know how to open up a bottle of champagne. You can never be pointing that at anybody because it can literally take out somebody's eye. So they laughed that off. And then, he makes some joke about how he's going to lick off the champagne off of her later. In his confessional, Derek says that he's had, he's been with a whole bunch of different types of women. He says he's had good looking women. He's had dimes. He's had bad bitches. He's dated them all, gorgeous, some of the most beautiful women on the planet. He's dated them all, but they got him absolutely nowhere. He's like, I dated all of these beautiful women, and look where I'm at now. They did nothing for me. Monique held me down. Monique always kept it real with me. So this is the reason why he's choosing Monique. Now, I don't mean he ain't choosing about 10 others, but he's definitely, for now, choosing Monique. Okay, he might be choosing others, but he's also choosing Monique. So Derek tells Monique that, while they're making dinner, he's like, this is a great time to tell Monique that I don't want her being that kind of really insecure kind of woman that's sneaking around, trying to check up on me, looking through my stuff. I don't want that. I don't like it. And he lays down the law, and he tells her, when I caught you snooping in my room, I did not like that. And you need to quit acting like that. Stop doing that. Stop sneaking around looking for information. I don't like it. And so she's like, okay. So They enjoy their dinner. Everything is delicious. He says, this is real sexy how you cook this dinner for me. It's so delicious. They're eating, they're enjoying their time together. And then he tells her, then after that, she says that, who brought it up? I don't know who brought it up, but after that, they went off and they had some after dinner delight. So that ended well. That was a good scene. They didn't, it wasn't a lot of fighting and arguing, fussing and being chased by strange people. So Derek and Monique this week, they kept it real peaceful, and it was a really good scene. Moving on to Cameron and Eris. So Cameron comes back to the hotel drunk out of his mind because he's been hanging out with his family for his his welcome home party, the one that Eris says she was too sick to attend with him. So he gets just crazy drunk at this party. He stumbles into the hotel. He flops down on one of the couches in the lobby, and I guess he passed out for a little bit or went to sleep or something for a little bit. He finally gets up. He goes into the room. Cameron is still in bed because she's still not feeling well. As soon as he walks into the room, Cameron's like, where the hell's my medicine? And he was like, babe, I had a long day. Drunk as hell. He flops down on the bed, and he's out. So she's really upset because she wanted her medicine, she wanted water, and she's still not feeling well. And so she was like, no, look at this. Instead of him taking care of me, I have to take care of him. So she tells him that she wants him, she's mad at him. She's like, this is exactly what I didn't want to happen. I didn't want you going out there getting drunk because he can get his parole revoked. So she's really upset with him. She tells him, I don't want you sleeping in here tonight. You need to go find somewhere else to sleep. He gets upset and he takes his ring and he throws it at her. And he's like, divorce me then. So you can't really have any kind of proper communication with him in this state of mind. So she just kind of pushes him. He rolls off the bed and he falls asleep on the floor. And that's where Cameron and Eris have ended. I don't know if this is a sign of what's to come, but I mean, I don't know. Do we need to cut him some slack for drinking as much as he did because he's been locked up for so long, and now that he's out and free, does he have that right to celebrate like that, to drink to the point where he was drunk? Or does he need to show more self-control no matter what? Because he's always running the risk of being put back into prison. But Cameron was pissed off. Moving on to Nathan and Skyler. So the day after their fight, she's with her mom. And her mom drives her to the cemetery. And her mom says, I don't want to have to come see you here, referring to the cemetery. So I need you to get your life together. Skyler claims that all she did was drink. I think the mother thinks that it was more than drinking going on. So the mother's like, I'm scared to death for you. I need you to get it together. So Skyler acts like she's receiving it. She's, actually thankful to her mom for looking out for her and, giving her this tough love or whatever. So her mom drops her back off at Nathan's house, and Nathan's waiting for her in the living room. Like a parent waiting for their child after they break curfew. He's waiting for her in the living room because, after their fight, she was gone. So she comes in and she sits down and they have a conversation. He's mad at her because she was out, wasn't answering her phone, I guess. He couldn't get in contact with her, didn't know where she was. And she tells him, you were accusing me of being out with another guy or with other guys. I'm hanging out with guys and I'm not doing that. I was just with my girlfriend. We're just having a good time. That's all it was. I was not seeing anybody else. So he wants her to change. He wants her to do this. He wants her to do that. And Skyler's upset because she's like, it's always me that has to change. And what about you? And he has a lot of work to do because he has to work on his temper. I don't know if he's drinking and using. I don't know, but he definitely has to work on that damn temper of his. So they're going back and forth. They're arguing. And she gets upset. And I think he even says something like, if we're going to constantly make each other upset, maybe we don't need to be together. And she says something like, yes, I agree with you. But they didn't move towards that direction of breaking up. It's like they know they're not good for each other, but they can't let go of each other. And so she gets up because she gets really frustrated with the argument, and she goes outside on the porch, I guess, to kind of cool down. He follows her out there, and, he tries to get her to come back in, and she's just, standing there stiff, just really just looking at him. And he's like, oh, come back in, Skyler, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. He starts kissing on her and stuff. And then finally she comes back into the house with him. And, with these people, the bottom line is this. This is the bottom line. I think that she wants to walk away, but she can't because he is like, he he's got this hold on her. He acts like he can't live without her. He acts like, if Skyler broke up with him, he's going to do something drastic. And I think that's what she's afraid of. He's either going to do something drastic, or he's going to go back to using, or he's going to do something really, really stupid. And that's what she's afraid of. So she feels like as long as she stays in his, this is my opinion. She didn't say this, it's just my opinion. As long as she stays in his life, maybe he can kind of stay away from real trouble. But they're not good for one another. This is like a very addictive type of situation. I don't know what the psychological term is, but they are not good for each other. They realize that they are not good for each other, but but they can't let go. She can't let go because of guilt. He can't let go because I don't know if he's got this addictive personality where it's like, if he's not addicted to Skyler, if Skyler isn't there to give him his fix, he's going to turn to maybe drugs and alcohol. So he's got this thing where he just can't let go of her. Like this possessive, crazy, obsessive love that he has for her. I don't know if that's what keeps him. I don't know, but this is just dysfunctional. This relationship is very dysfunctional, and it's very cyclical, meaning that it's like in a constant cycle. They love hard, they argue hard, then they start all over again. They get along, then they argue. And I'm pretty sure there's some type of substance involved with these people. I'm going to say alcohol. They get to drinking, then they get to fighting. Then when they've sobered up a little bit, they make up. Then they get to drinking, then they get to fighting, and they sober up, then they make up. It's just a really bad situation. And I think Nathan is really the main culprit. Skyler, I think, is ready to walk away and can walk away, and her mother wants her to walk away. Nathan, I don't know who's on his side. I don't know if he's getting any kind of support from any family members, but Nathan is like so obsessed with her. And it's like, maybe this is that one thing that's I don't know. I was going to say keeping him from using. That's why he can't let go of her. I don't know. But this relationship is it's awful. It's not healthy at all. And I feel bad for Skyler because I think, but for Nathan, Skyler can concentrate on herself and improve herself and do what she needs to do to start this brand new life. Either go to school or go to work or do something for herself to better Skyler. But she can't as long as, Nathan is holding on to her, dragging her down, moving on to Travis and Ashley. So Travis tells Ashley that his mom doesn't want them to get... Look, I'm not even going to waste too much time on these people because they made me mad. Really, Ashley made me upset. Okay, they go to a bar, they drink. They worry about their financial situation. What the hell are they going to do? Ashley finally accepts the fact that they're going to have to move in with his mother because they're broke as hell. They're broke. And so they drink. She drinks to oblivion. Then they go outside, I guess, at the end of the night to go home. She has a drunken meltdown in the parking lot. She's kicking off her shoes. She's just drunk as hell. And he's trying to kind of keep an eye on her, and she wants him to baby her because she's ranting, she's raving, she's having a breakdown because of the fact of where her life is at. Having to live with her boyfriend's mother, having no money, no job, no nothing. So she just wants Travis to comfort her, to baby her and all this other crap. And anywho, he does it. She feels better, like a big old baby. And I'm like, why don't you just go put in an application, Ashley? Go fill out a damn I'm thinking you're college educated. Go apply at a damn office for an office job or something. Go be a receptionist somewhere. Stop wallowing in your pity and make something happen until you can get back on your damn feet and go back to your business of selling old jewelry. That's my review. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, go ahead and subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.